So how do we know if we are wearing our expert hat or our coaching hat when we're working with our clients? And why does that matter? Also, how about sharing expertise? So how is it that we are able to share things that we have great ideas about in background and experience, but do it in a coaching style? These are really important things to think about as you are stepping into a coaching session, and they are not as easy to do as they sound. So I'm Susanna Cooper with the Catalyst Coaching Institute, and I'm really excited to talk with you today about some topics that are really important to coaching. So with coaching, we talk about the fact that the client is the expert of his or her own life. So what does that even mean? So when we think about it, the person knows himself best, right? They know their past successes, past experiences. They know their values, what's important to them, their current responsibilities. So they're in a really good place to be thinking about what goals might look like in their own life. So that's what we mean when we say the client is the expert of his or her own life. So we're wanting to come alongside the client, use our motivational interviewing skills, evoke from the client what's most important to them. So easy enough, right? Except what about our own expertise as a coach? So something that I've found from working with coaches for many years is we tend to have a lot of things that we know about health and wellness, a lot of things we're passionate about that we've studied ourselves, past experiences, maybe working in the field as a coach for a number of years, maybe working in another related field as a clinician, places where we actually are experts in certain topics. So how do we take all of that and share that with our clients, but do it in a guiding style of coaching? So that's kind of the tricky part, is how do we take our expert hat off on purpose, put on our coaching hat so that we relate in just a different way to our client so that they are engaged and they are excited and we're wanting to move towards lasting change. So I'm wondering if you are familiar with the term, the righting reflex. So this is something I would say we all do, at least I do, is when someone will come to me and just be sharing something going on with them and they're just looking for some direction. I'm really quick to kind of have an answer, like, if they just try this, this would be great. So jumping really quickly to problem solving. I know I'm not the only one who does this. So think for yourself if this sounds familiar, where you just know that if they would just kind of follow your instructions, if they would just do what you tell them to do, they're going to go so much quicker to get to where they want. They're going to reach that goal in such a better way. And you just know exactly what would help. Like you've got this great idea that you want to share. So that's called the righting reflex. It's when we see, it's like you see a little turtle in the road who's upside down and you just want to flip him over, right? We just want to help. So it's well-meaning. The way I like to think about it, if you think about a chick in an egg who is in the midst of hatching. So picture this little egg and he's like pecking his way, trying to get out of the egg. So a little hole starts to form, and so we see it, right? We're looking at the chick from the outside. We see what they're doing. So if we just stepped in and we just kind of start peeling back the egg just a little bit, right? Just to help that little chick hatch quicker. It's going to be quicker. It's going to be easier. We know they're hatching anyway, right? So we just want to help and come alongside. So the problem with this is that chick, part of what he's doing as he's pecking his way out of the egg is he's building up his neck muscles so that when he does hatch, he can actually hold his head up. So by us stepping in, again, well-meaning, just trying to help them move quicker and just get to where they're going, and knowing if they just do this, it's going to work. We're kind of messing up the process, right? We're messing up the long-term growth and strength building for the little chick, just like we do with our clients. So the righting reflex is something that we all do, and it's something I think particularly as brand new coaches, we want to be really aware of and try to catch ourselves. So I can guarantee you're going to have a quick answer to somebody, and we want to stop talking for a minute and pause and think about this. I love the acronym WAIT. Why am I talking? So it's a great thing to think of. And just think that if we can trust the process with our clients, we can actually help them move towards coming up with a solution that's going to fit them best and allowing them to go through that journey and that process. So what about our expertise? Are we supposed to go in as like this blank slate as a coach and just completely draw and evoke from the client the whole time? So thankfully, no. Bring yourself into the coaching room, right? Bring your own personality and your own style and your passions and your background and your experience. But we still want to do it in the guiding style of coaching. So it is very different, actually, than when you're the expert in something. Someone asks you a question, you problem solve, you come up with the answer, and you give it right back to them. That's not what we're talking about. So a good thing to think about within the motivational interviewing style is explore, offer, explore. So let me just briefly tell you what that means. So the first one, explore, what that means is, first of all, just asking the client, what do they know about this already? We're going to save so much time when we do that. So we don't know, are they at the beginning stage of this situation and trying to solve this, or kind of way down the road and fine-tuning what they're working on? So we want to just ask them so we know where to start with them in that. The other piece of that first explore is to ask for permission. So this is just in the conversation with them. Just, you know what, as we've been talking, it reminds me of something that has worked for some other clients. Would you be interested in hearing some ideas? So just something as simple as that we can say to the client. That allows for, first of all, a pause in the conversation. It allows them to think about it and think, yeah, I would like some ideas from you. And then they're engaged in what we're going to say. So that's the first explore. The second is offer. So this one's tricky because this is when we want to start giving them, this is what you should do. Instead, what we want to do is offer kind of a menu of options, several ideas. So we can share the one that we're really excited about, but we're going to share it in like 2 sentences. That's it, 2 sentences. We mention it. We're going to mention a few other things that have come to mind that have worked for our other clients that we think might work for them, and we're going to ask them, what else do you think? Kind of this brainstorming, just this exploration of ideas. And then the fun part is this last explore. So this is when we put it back to the client and we just ask them. We say, okay, out of all those things we just talked about, what do you want to hear more about? You know, where would you like to start? This is when they're going to choose one. So maybe it was our idea, maybe it was their idea. It's come out of this brainstorming of offering a menu of options. Once they choose it, now they're in, right? Now they're engaged and they're excited and they want to hear more. So this is when we get to share our expertise and share the information and talk to them about resources and where they could go to learn more about this. So explore, offer, explore is a way that we can bring our expertise, we can bring our background and our experience into a coaching session. We can do it in a guiding style, coming alongside the client, honoring the fact that they truly are the expert of their own lives, And when we use this approach, we're so much more likely for the client to really set a goal that's going to work for them, that they're excited about, that will move them towards lasting behavior change.